विज्ञान की अनकही कहानियाँ। आइए हम सुने विज्ञान की अनसुनी कहानियाँ। Hello listeners, you're listening to Vigyan Ki Awaaz podcast program on STEM popularization, catalyzed and supported by the Ministry of Science and Technology, Government of India and Media for Community Foundation. Project devised and designed by Dr. R. Sridhar and assisted by Ashish Tiwari. Local coordination and production, Professor Subramanian. Content writing by Priyanshu and post-production by Professor Kaushik P. Kanchan of Garden City University, Bengaluru. Garden City University, conquer we shall all adversity. Together we stand in unity. Together we strive for prosperity. GCU, emphasis on life. GCU, emphasis on life. In the last episode, Professor Padmanaban discussed about the transition in scientific research from human-driven work to automated systems and its implications. And in this episode, he provided insights on why India has not produced a Nobel Prize-winning scientist in recent times, despite having world-class research facilities.
But we are not getting a Nobel Prize.
No, it's very difficult, because now Nobel Prize is now become an industry. An individual cannot get Nobel Prize anymore. He has a big group. He has paraphernalia and applications. So it has become. It's not anymore. Of course, you still see some here and there, one or two. Somebody got for learning process, brain research, which he did. Maybe 15 years ago, 20 years ago, they get Nobel Prize. Other than that, modern states to get status to get a Nobel Prize, you need gadgets. Because it's just thinking alone may not be that simple. But you are trying to ask very difficult questions. How do you mimic learning process? How do you assess brain function? These are the kinds of questions people are now asking. So to mimic that animal model or whatever model it is, it's not going to be that easy anymore.
He discussed the transition in scientific research from human-driven work to automated systems and its implications.
No, but it is okay to have equipment alone cannot drive somebody's research. You should always have thinking process, Yes, because sometimes I feel NMR, IR, people use gadgets and that seems to drive research. You don't need many of these, Research should be driven by your thinking process. Many times, theoreticians are there. What equipment they use? Give them a laptop and a computer, they also do research. Therefore, I feel original research is very important. In India in particular, because most research gets done abroad. Even now I find people go abroad, get their experiments done and come back. But we should have systems here in place.
He spoke about India's biggest health challenges, particularly the dual burden of infectious and chronic diseases.
Because I am driven by what the country needs. So infectious disease is still a priority in India. Whether it is tuberculosis, whether it is malaria, whether it is all other. But in India we have double problem. Infection also and chronic diseases has become an issue. Whether it is heart, or whether it is other, stress. In my opinion, stress is the biggest problem for
Present generation.
yes, for the present generation. Therefore, both types of diseases, we have not eliminated infectious disease in India, which many countries have done, Western countries have done. But they still have problems of chronic diseases, heart diseases, stress in particular. But in India, probably we have both. So we really need to see how to handle that. So I would suggest we can't forget infectious disease, we can't forget chronic disease.
Professor then shared which research area would he prioritize if given an opportunity to start a new initiative.
Because I am driven by what the country needs. So infectious disease is still a priority in India. Whether it is tuberculosis, whether it is malaria, whether it is all other. But in India we have double problem. Infection also and chronic diseases has become an issue. Whether it is heart or whether it is other, stress. In my opinion, stress is the biggest problem for the present generation. Therefore, both types of diseases, we have not eliminated infectious disease in India, which many countries have done, Western countries have done. But they still have problems of chronic diseases, heart diseases, stress in particular. But in India, probably we have both. So we really need to see how to handle that. So I would suggest we can't forget infectious disease, we can't forget chronic disease.
He mentioned his books on doing science in India and whether he plans to write another volume covering recent years.
I have written 2 books actually.
Okay.
Doing science in India.
Is there
I don't have the copies here
Okay.
because I just gave away all these. Doing science in India, volume 2, volume 3. People asked me to write. You should write one more.
Okay.
Because after it hasn't covered beyond 2015, 2016. So it's not progressing. I want to write, but little bit I write and then get diverted, some other tensions.
You were listening to Vigyan Ki Awaaz, a podcast on STEM popularization, catalyzed and supported by National Council for Science and Technology Communication, Government of India. Tune in for more such episodes to Vigyan Ki Awaaz on this platform and also through Spotify, YouTube and Apple Music platforms.
आइए हम सुने विज्ञान